Let's see. Will there be any exclusive characters per platform? Are you guys being diplomatic?
Well, we've announced Kratos is going to be in
Yes.
the PlayStation 3 version of the game. We're not really ready to announce anything beyond that, but that's been announced.
So you guys got something, right? Let's see.
We got a great fatality here too.
We got folks very oh my. Oh heck yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that we thought crossed the line, so it obviously got in the game.
Let's see, folks excited to see Baraka. Is there going to be any kind of spectating mode for online matches?
Yeah, we haven't talked about all of the online features, but we're definitely being a lot more elaborate than just one-on-one fighting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want more people to participate, and you know, a lot of that stuff. Our goal is to really kind of recreate that whole arcade experience where you can, you know, see other matches going on and whatnot.
And obviously more information probably coming later.
Yes.
Let's see. I'm sure a question you get a lot, are there going to be babalities or friendships?
You know what? This is really, we're trying to be a little bit more of a serious Mortal Kombat with this one. You know, I think we kind of kept taking a step further with, you know,
and you built up to it.
Yeah, and so our goal is to be a little bit more serious. If we were to do something like that, we definitely wouldn't announce it.
Half the fun is discovering,
exactly.
Right?
That's one of our.
And you know, to that point, what I have noticed, even in the version you've got here, there's a move list that you can call up, you know, within the menus and whatnot. Yeah. But that said, you guys are kind of notorious for putting in secret stuff.
Yeah.
So, is it safe to assume that even though you're giving us a lot of information up front in terms of how the characters control, there will be stuff to discover?
It's absolutely safe to assume that. That you know, that was our goal. Our goal is to really, we want to give something to the players who don't, you know, go online and find you know, all the special moves. So we're going to give away, you know, a lot of the moves in the game, but we have even more stuff buried into the game. There's stuff we haven't, you know, we're never going to mention. Just people are going to find out after the fact. And but we really want, like, that fatality trainer. That's one of our goals, is for more people to be able to experience that whole fatality part of the game and kind of get into learning it and all that.
Now, there are a lot of questions about people asking if there are going to be any kind of retro nods costume-wise. So what we're seeing, everybody's been pretty much updated, although, well, I mean, Liu Kang, he's always going to roll with his standard.
Yeah, there's you know, some of the ninjas, we have versions that are going to be like their classic form when you saw them in MK1. It looks very retro, but it's very cool in a lot of respects. I didn't think it would look as cool as it does, but there's a lot of kind of like that nostalgic kind of feel. So when you see Sub-Zero and Scorpion fighting each other with their classic costumes, you know, you really go back to the Wayback Machine, and everybody's 15 again and doing all that.
And so in terms of voices, you're still Scorpion?
Yes,
Nice.
I'm the get over here and all that kind of crazy stuff.
Nice, which you totally can't tell right now, but trust us, folks, he's done it. We've heard him.
Yeah.
And let's see what else we got. And demo, I think we've seen word of.
Yes, I think it was announced.
Was it announced?
The PlayStation 3, the demo.
Okay,
right.
So that's definitely coming. So for folks that at home are wondering, there you go. Okay, we've got people asking for cake. Sorry, it won't keep. And then, you know, just me as a fan, what's it been like? Because, God, how long's it been since the very first one? It's been...
You know, we started the first one in 1991, the end of 1991. So this November will be 20 years since we started the first one. The first one came out in 92, around August of 92. So it's really,
Did you ever have
been a while.
Any idea that 20 years later you'd be doing
Still doing? No, I had no idea.
And even bloodier, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm sure back then...
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that was just kind of like really simple ideas that we had are just becoming, like, you know, expected, and so it's pretty wild.
And what do you think of the landscape now? I mean,
well, things like I don't know how many games have, like, where you can pull somebody up into bang their head on a passing train, and there happens to be a northbound train that you throw and hit them there. So that's one of my favorite fatalities. So we have a lot more fatalities that are just like that, you know, like in other arenas that we haven't even shown yet. So I'm dying to show that.
You know, and we're looking at this. We see a bunch of empty things at the bottom. That's that's not bad for a roster. And we also see a little DLC icon there.
Yeah, that's going to be a big part of this game. Is this DLC? You know, we're really excited about introducing new characters, kind of keeping the game fresh, and as well as there's unlockable stuff in the game too. As obviously we want this game to have a lot of content that you can just kind of work to unlock.
Now the DLC obviously is pretty far out, but sorry, my thing's falling out of my ear. Now, as far as the DLC goes, how much are the fans going to impact that? Like, you guys are kind of very into supporting the fans. So.
Yeah. Like I said, I have a Twitter account, and we have there's a Mortal Kombat Twitter account, and if we see a name coming up, more than any other name, we really know that's gonna influence our decision of who to put in the game. That's for sure.
All right, we have someone that's demanding that we get you to talk about Kratos. What about Kratos, G. Veronini? So what's it been like implementing him into that combat system?
It was actually pretty easy. In God of War, he has these kind of long-reaching chains with the blades on them. So we didn't want that to be his basic moveset, because then nobody could come close to him, and you're just going to keep hitting on spamming that. But he certainly has them in his special moves. And Kratos in our game has more weapons than probably any Mortal Kombat character does. He has that big cestus thing, the head of Helios, the bow and arrow thing, and so he, if you see the kind of combos that you can do with that character, it's really, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Nice. And let's see what else we've got here. All right. MK Online Minion wants to know: will Noob Saibot have a flesh version of his primary costume?
A flesh version? No, I think he's kind of like the shadow character, very mysterious.
Guess he's hoping for nudity, and that's probably not so much.
Yeah, probably
Nobody
not.
wants to
not
see
this
that.
Game.
All right. Now, folks are really excited about this game. We've got a demo coming out, and you guys have shown us a lot.
Yeah.
With that said, there's stuff that we haven't seen. Just give us a sense, content-wise, what?
We haven't even gone into our whole story mode.
Yep.
There is a epic, massive story that we're telling with this game. We can't wait to start showing some content on it. But I was just saying, that I think this game has so much more content that hasn't even been seen by people, and they've seen a lot. So I guess over the next 5-6 weeks before the game comes out, you're going to be seeing a lot of new news coming up on the game.
And here's one of the many classic ninja fights that are possible.
Yeah.
And this stage.
This is Shang Tsung's throne room, kind of like a more modern kind of reigning version of the first one with Shang Tsung sitting on the throne over there and kind of watching the fights. So it's Noob Saibot's like his big thing is he keeps throwing out this other version of him. I call him like that's Noob, and Saibot's the guy who comes running out there. So there's a lot of the special moves that are involving him.
And so, as far as like the fan reaction goes, were you surprised at all at the reception that it got?
I actually, on some level, I was kind of, I certainly felt like there was the planets were aligned with this game. The last game was a T-rated game. We had some unexpected characters, in the game, and I think some people really kind of came back saying, okay, well, the next one we really want to be a traditional Mortal Kombat game, and that means M-rated, and fatalities and all the kind of over-the-top stuff. And we really kind of took that and went even further with, let's go back to 2D gameplay. Let's remind everybody of, the kind of classic MK2, MK3 days, and that's kind of like our, with today's technology presenting that experience.
Oh, you know what? The coins just reminded me. There's a coin system in here that's also another thing for folks that are having a hard time, right?
Yes, well, there's an entire unlocking system in the game, like the crypt, and there's just tons of hidden codes, hidden features that we have in the game that haven't, like I said, we haven't even announced that you're going to be unlocking, and there's an entire currency system in the game. So that's a whole other aspect that we haven't even really gotten into.
Ow. Now, I was talking specifically about the challenge tower. You can actually use coins to sort of help yourself out.
Oh, you're right. Right. That's. Thank you for bringing that
Let me
up.
tell you about your game.
Yeah, exactly. In the challenge tower, some of the challenges are admittedly difficult. The last one's insanely difficult, and so you're going to hit some brick walls. And here's a great the vomiting shot there. So you're going to hit some brick walls with it, and so we don't want any kind of like progression stoppers where a player can't continue, but if you can't defeat a certain challenge, you can actually use some of your coins and kind of buy your way past it.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
All right, well, this has been a blast. I think folks at home can get a sense of why we're pretty stoked about this thing. And so thanks very much for coming by, Ed. We hope you enjoy the cake. And
I appreciate that. I was actually literally surprised with
yeah,
that.
you'd be surprised. Bakeries and MK, it's a better fit than you'd think.